What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and another defense spotlight. Now, this one was voted for and won on a Twitter straw poll, and it is actually a redo, as it is the Poison Dart Tower Huntress. Now, since my last hero spotlight, the Poison Dart Towers have changed. Everyone screamed nerf, as they did get lowered down a little bit in damage. However, I think there's been a little bit of misinformation running around, as I'm hearing from a lot of different sources to switch the Poison Dart Towers over to a crit damage focus, and I just really can't seem to get the numbers out of it. So although this is a new defense spotlight, I'm actually going to still suggest the exact same shard setup I used to use. Now, first off, before we jump into anything, the Poison Dart Tower is another one of those defenses where you cannot look at the DPS number on the tooltip, as it is not correct. As you see here, 333,000 DPS is what it's showing. However, if we come over to this dummy here and take a look, we're going to see numbers considerably higher than that, just capping up over that 1 million damage per second mark. So always test your Poison Dart Towers on the dummy themselves, and don't go by the tooltip that is displayed, as results will indeed vary. Now, how I'm getting this 1.1 million DPS is with the same three. A medallion, first off, with power transfer, enhanced poison, and defense rate. Now, I use enhanced poison and defense rate as I want to get that poison damage ticking as often as possible. Now, when you use this combo, you get it all the way down to the absolute max, and as you see there, there's two different attacks. You've got attack damage, which is the normal physical hit, and then down below you've got poison damage. Now, the attack damage applies, or the poison damage applies after the dart, of course, hits the target, and the normal dart is going to attack every 0.63 seconds, and then the poison is going to tick every 0.15 seconds. Now, crit is still a huge aspect of the build, with 83,000 crit damage. Of course, that has a chance to apply every time the poison ticks, and every time the regular attack damage ticks. So it's got a lot of opportunities to rip off that 83k every single second. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using power transfer, enhanced poison, and defense rate. There are just a ton of different ways to do your Poison Dart Towers and get results. If you want more of an AoE tower, as this is mainly boss and single target focused, then you could easily just swap out that enhanced rate for explosive poison, and then the poison is going to get spread around in the packs. And of course, it's going to tick for that 0.1. Actually, it won't be 0.15 then. It'll be 0.25, I believe. Let's pop that bad boy out of there and take a peek. See, with enhanced poison gone, yeah, that drops it down to every 0.25 seconds. So you lose, what, 1/10 of a second in attack speed. However, when the enemy dies and explodes, it is going to spread that poison to all the nearby targets. Now, a couple of interesting little different variations. Now, I'll come right out and say it, I have just not been able to get good numbers with a mark. When I compare everything side by side, the mark is definitely giving me lower numbers, so I've been going purely on the medallion. And, you know, results change, but for the most part, as you see, I'm right around that 1.1 million damage per second range. Now, here's an interesting twist. For those of you that are veterans that have been around the game for a while, you remember the Totem Usage, the heavy Totem Usage early on when the trials first hit, and we were all using totems with vampiric empowerment because that's just what we had. Now, interesting enough, if we throw a totem on there, our crit damage is still at 82,000. We're still showing 331k. Is that right? Is that exactly the same? Oh wow, it's only 2,000 DPS difference off of that tooltip. And the reason we're seeing such wonderful numbers here is because power transfer plays nicely with vampiric empowerment, and having that big number of defense health to scale vampiric empowerment off of, it is just raising our crit damage through the roof, as we see 83k with the medallion with power transfer, and 82.1k crit damage with a totem. So depending on what kind of drops you got, you can also use a totem and get pretty darn good results, and then have a tower that has just an enormous amount of health. Now, I'm not getting consistent numbers quite as high as using the medallion, but I'm getting numbers plenty high enough to give it a shot. If I'm ever short a medallion and want to use poison dart towers, I'll have no problem at all throwing a totem into the mix. So hopefully this helps everyone out with answering their questions on what shards to use in their poison dart towers. As far as Ascension goes, we are going to follow just the basic builder Ascension. So the first 20 points in the utility category always go into defense crit. After that, we want to work on the poison dart tower ranged gambit, and then go into defense crit damage. In the defense category, the first 20 points always will go into defense speed, and then everything else directly into poison dart tower damage. So you can make your poison dart towers pretty strong right out of the gates, particularly once you get to Ascension 60 and you've got your defense crit chance capped out in your Ascension. So thank you very much for watching. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with some more DD2. Thanks again. I'll see ya.